Welcome back to another episode of Pewology. This is a show where the people in the pews get to weigh in on a whole bunch of issues. And today I have impaneled, and I believe that's a word. Impaneled?
Mm-hmm. It's debatable.
Penalized.
No.
I have impaneled a group of men, young men, midlife men,
Take it.
to talk about some subjects related to manhood. So here we go. Here's my question for you. We did a podcast recently where we were basically asking a group of guys, and then we asked a group of women. So we went back and forth. I'd like to come back around to this one more time. Okay. So we basically asked them like, we were asking them about like if they were put in a situation. We can start with that with you guys and see how it goes. So if you were put in a situation where you knew the situation called for some level of like physical altercation, okay? So let's say like you're with your wife or your spouse or your child and someone either verbally or physically disrespects, you know what I'm saying? Either words or in actions, pushes them, curses at them, you know, whatever, in a public setting. And you know that the management of that situation, right, could call for some level of physical altercation from you, right? At that point in time, though, right, there's like this whole other element when you're like, it's different when you're in your 20s, when you're like a young buck. The answer is very clear. Like it's one thing, right? You have nothing to lose. Going to jail is nothing for you, right? Who's going to miss you? Your mama, right? But if you've got kids that depend upon you, right? If you got a spouse that depends on you, have a mortgage, you have a car payment, you have things going on in your life. You have to make like a knee-jerk decision where you say to yourself, am I going to do this? Because this could, maybe not, but it could lead to my potential either a financial problem, either a financial legal problem, maybe even if it got physical and led to somebody's death, potentially my incarceration. Like, does that go through your mind? Does it change the outcome? Do you think you'd act differently today based upon all that you have and all that you got to lose? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
You think you would think about it?
For me, for sure, yeah.
Yeah?
Because I understand that if something were to happen, like you could get arrested, but it depends on the circumstances. If you're defending your family, you know, if somebody's coming to attack them, then you got to defend them, you know, but it probably depends exactly what the situation you're talking about.
If it's more just verbal and it's more just like if there's the opportunity between like walking away versus physical altercation, you think now, knowing as far as you are,
so can you give us like a little, like, for example, like somebody comes up to one of my kids and like, let's say
it's your wife or your girl, and you're in a public space, and someone feels like she's, you know, what you don't even know why. You don't even know why they may push her, like maybe not like a full blown push her to the ground, but they push her and call her a name, like an actual curse. What do you do? Like, if it's a dude, what do you do?
Push him like you. Like,
yeah.
What do I do? I mean, my first thought is always wrong. I'm gonna clarify that, right?
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for sharing.
My first thought is always wrong.
It's like I'm about to tell you the wrong thing.
But in the moment, like I know, in the split of a second, I'm like, "You all right, bro?"
Oh, okay, so you'd talk to him.
Yeah, I mean, like, and if he curses at me and he starts to get handsy,
it's on.
I mean, I'm getting the biggest thing right next to me. I'm knocking that dude out and I'm out.
So you'd pick something up and hit him with it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's a street fight for sure, you know.
I got to make sure we survive.
So I got to make sure we survive.
But that's my first thought.
But I'm asking you, if that leads to your incarceration, have you thought about that? Like, how does your girl, your kids?
You bailing me out?
That's only if you get caught.
That's if we get caught too.
Okay, hold on. Let's assume that there's the potential that you get caught. But there's all these other factors that come with it, right? Financial burden. Now you got to hire an attorney. You got bills to pay. You got everything suffers.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Do you do it? Do you even think about it?
In the moment,
Probably
I mean,
not.
like probably not.
Oh, okay.
Like
You don't have enough to lose.
Look, I rode the short bus for anger issues. Like,
Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot.
yes, like I know exactly what's gonna happen if something like that happens.
Let's clip that one.
Just gonna snap. You're gonna snap.
I might, like I know that like I've done a lot of growth and like certain reactions aren't as unnatural to me anymore.
Okay.
Like my whenever I got rear-ended, like at first I was like, what the,
Yeah.
and then
You calm down a little
I
bit.
calmed like immediately, like a shift. As soon as I stepped out of my car, I went from I'm about to beat this dude's butt
Yeah.
to let me see if he's okay.
Oh, okay.
You
Wow.
know, like that's not me. The only
Yeah, it
good
must
in
be
me
the
is
Lord.
the God in me.
It must be the Lord.
Yeah,
That was Jesus.
yeah. And I mean, I've been in multiple different.
When's the last time you were in a fist fight?
It's before I got in recovery,
Oh, okay. It's been a while.
and like
Did you win?
it wasn't a fist fight. It was more like I fought pretty much everybody over here on Man Street.
It's like a
Battle Royale.
You want me to tell you what happened? I'll tell you the story.
I don't even know what to say to
What
that.
happened?
All right, so I owed one of the guys $30.
Okay.
All right,
Of course.
It always starts with $30.
Bro, I would spot you the 30 just to get you out of the fight. Bro.
so and then I show up and I was going to his cousin's house to get a 30. And he was like, "Bro, don't you owe me 30?" And I'm like, "So what?"
Oh, okay. So you
And-
just like gave him a little.
And I was just like, he's like, "I need my 30." I was like, "No, you don't." And I'm like, "I'm about to get my 30 from your cousin right now."
Okay.
Right? This is when I was on crack, right?
Yeah.
So
I was gonna.
he swung he swung on me a 30 of crack. He swung on me, right? I dodged it and then I took off on him.
You
And
ran. You ran.
No, I took out like I started swinging on him.
Oh, okay.
You went off on
You
I
went off.
I went off on him.
Yeah.
And from there, I just remember like they came out like cockroaches, just like out of nowhere. Everybody surrounded me, started punching me. One dude got me in a headlock, and then he started kicking me in the face. I did like a front flip, landed on his shoulders, right? Because he had me in like a front headlock like
Yeah.
this. I did a front flip on top of him, beat him down, jumped off, kicked 3 people in the face. And then this is when I had
I don't
like a
believe this.
ninja.
I don't believe
He's like a
we got
You
Bruce
lost
Lee
me
over
real
here.
quick.
look, I'm telling you, I was cracked out.
You doubt a crackhead?
You doubt a crackhead?
Trust me, I've seen it.
You got down. You got down. You
Yeah,
let the
and
people
then,
out.
and the funny thing is that I went to like Thacker and I went to middle school with these guys,
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So they all knew me. One of the guys who I was getting the stuff from, he 2-pieced me and he was like, "Hey, helmet, stop!"
Yeah.
He's like, "Here's your 30, and go on." I was like, "Look, I'm not leaving until I have my glasses." So after that, they all took out their phones and found my glasses.
They helped you find your
After
help me
you
find my
after you
glasses.
beat them
This is the
all.
most dysfunctional fight.
The funny thing is,
after that, after
This
that,
at night. This at night.
yeah.
Oh my.
he showed up the next day to like a Christmas dinner that we had, and like he showed up with his lip all busted. And I was like, "What happened to you?" And he told me the whole story. I was like, "Oh, it's just like a semi story, you know."
Yeah.
Just Kissimmee. Just
Yeah,
Kissimmee.
nice
Be
old
a
Kissimmee.
All right. What about you? You think you get physical?
Okay, so I almost had to a couple of years ago. I was on a senior outing with this is my old school at Heritage,
Okay.
and we're in downtown Orlando at SAC Comedy Club,
Yeah.
and just a bunch of kids. You know, I'm supervising.
Yeah.
School's like, bring the wife. You know, we had a good time, and we get out of the comedy club, and some crackhead probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
This dude's cousin.
He walked up to my wife and was like, "Hey, baby, you ever done crack off of a spoon?" And just, I was like, "What the heck?"
Whoa.
Well, and he had like this sharp, like it looked like a knife, like
Yeah.
right up next to, but she didn't realize it. And I got in between them and I put my hand on his chest and I'm like, "Back up.
Yeah.
or we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you got a problem. I'm like, I do have a problem.
Yeah.
Get away from my wife,
Yeah.
or you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And the kids, it was funny because the kids were like, oh, Mr. Mono's about to
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
But he backed up.
But you were willing to risk it all that night.
Yeah, I mean, the guy had
Yeah.
a freaking weapon on my wife, you know.
Okay. How
But
about you? What,
I got-
you think you take the risk route? You wouldn't think about what you could lose. You just go for it.
No. I would consider what I would lose if it's protecting
Yeah.
my daughter, because I think that's different. Defending would be like some slight offense, and
Yeah.
then I can either escalate it or
Right.
de-escalate it. Right. Protecting would be like imminent threat.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's more of an imminent
Yeah.
threat than it's like, well, no, I have to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If I don't act, something potentially worse could happen.
Okay.
Right.
Whereas, somebody bumping in or, just acting a fool, I could de-escalate that. These days, I would probably walk away. I wouldn't turn my back, but I would find a way to try to diffuse the situation and walk away. Yes, I have too much to lose.
That's always
Yeah.
the answer. Diffuse it.
Well, I guess. Well, okay. But
It's not always possible.
But let's say
possible.
let's say that that's always the thing you should try.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'd like to present one more question to you. Let's say you're out with your spouse and something is said like offensive to her like that. Maybe not a life-threatening situation, but she got pushed or it's offensive or she's called a name or whatever, right? And you choose the de-escalation route and kind of just back her out of that and get her out of the situation and move on with the night. And then she says,
You a punk.
yeah, why didn't you protect my honor? Like, you should have done more. What would you do?
she wouldn't say that.
She wouldn't say that?
Mine wouldn't. Yeah,
No.
she'd be thankful to be out of the situation.
Well, for me,
'Cause
like
she
since,
does know I'm a little bit of a hothead, so she'd
Oh,
be
okay.
happy I would walk away from.
Oh, okay.
For me, since I've been doing like martial arts
Yeah.
for like over a year now, and I really got into it, and I've been doing it every day for about 2 to 3 hours a day,
Yeah.
and I realized how vulnerable I was
Yeah.
before I started doing this. And I
Mhm.
think most people that walk around don't realize how vulnerable they are, and most men specifically don't realize how vulnerable they are. They have a false sense of confidence, especially when they get angry and they want to escalate, and then next thing you know, they're gonna try to like fight somebody, and like they don't realize how quickly things can turn. And then from me, like going in there and just doing this every day and then getting choked out or getting
Yeah.
punched in the face or something by people that I would never think that they would be able to like do this to me, especially like doing jujitsu.
Yeah.
Somebody that's like half my size, or like some teenage girl or something, or some 15-year-old boy that is he's able to like strangle me, and I'm just like, wow, this is like.
Crazy.
I outweigh this person by 50 pounds and they're able to do this to me. Imagine some guy on the street. I don't know what they know. Like maybe they got some training. Maybe they know something. And
Yeah.
you might think you can take them. And then next thing you know, you'll get put on your feet. You get strangled real quick. And
But what if the girl that you was with made fun of you because you didn't?
I mean,
get the physical altercation?
well, that's your own ego. Like that's something you would always have to fight against. But like by doing martial arts, it's a breaking down of that ego.
Okay.
So, like, I've broke down my ego so much that I don't really care. Like, if somebody were to, oh, you didn't fight this person or something, like, I don't care. Like, I know if I had to defend myself, I could now because I've been training for the past like year and a half, and like, so I can defend myself. But I'll prefer not to because I understand the circumstances. Like, if I were to like strangle somebody or hurt them, I could severely hurt them for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
There's people that I know that go to training that I've seen they've broken their necks. They like had like severe injuries and now they can't walk properly. One of the guys at the gym I go to, like he got into a fight at a fight night where it was like a competition, and a bunch of people got into fight, and a security guard came in behind them, strangled them, and then apparently he had like a stroke in his brain. He had to get surgery. Now he can't.
My God.
So for the rest of his life he has to walk with a cane and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's messed up for the rest of his life for just getting strangled one time in a street fight. So
Oh my God.
and then when you see it all the time, you start to realize like, oh, how quickly things can turn.
Yeah.
I mean, just in December, like I almost had my eye poked out, like for a training thing. A guy like poked me right in the eye, and severely injured my eye for.
The redness still just a little dot now.
Yeah, like it's barely see it now, but it's like
It was messed up.
Yeah. So I've decided I'm not gonna roll with that guy anymore because like my resentment towards him.
Yeah.
Like, there's that part of
For
me
a
that
while, he was thinking about gouging his eyes out.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking I was gonna
Kill this dude.
not kill him, but I was gonna an eye for an eye. You know,
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's like
Wow.
Eyes with the
He went
point
Old
of the
Testament
face.
real quick.
it's like you almost poked my eye out. I'm like,
I'm going
I
to take
will.
yours.
I'll take your eye.
Yeah.
I was really pissed off, but now I'm still angry. But like now that it's healed, I can see and everything that I'm okay. I'm gonna let it pass. I'm just decided I'm not gonna to roll with this guy. I'll go with other people. And if people think whatever they want to think, that's fine. I just prefer, trust me, like I'd rather do that.
What would you do if your lady questions
You're out.
your manhood?
She's out.
Whoa.
She's out.
Whoa.
I
She gone?
was gonna say
gone.
like if you're
She's out.
doing that, no. I'm just saying like you picked the wrong lady.
Oh, so you think it would be an immediate
But isn't
decision
it-
you picked
Yeah,
the wrong
she's out.
lady?
Wouldn't there be a
Yeah.
manly way to de-escalate the situation? Right? Like there has to be because
The grown
no-
the grown man thing to do is to de-escalate
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Even if
So-
you have combat training, that's what you're supposed to
Yeah,
do. You're
yeah.
supposed to de-escalate.
Yeah.
This is
And
the
if-
last resort. If you want to take
Exactly.
it there, we'll take it there. But I'm going to try to diffuse
Yeah.
this as much as
that's
possible.
why I said my
Because
first
if we get
the-
there,
that's why my first reaction would be like, "You all right?" Like
Yeah.
cuz that guy might be struggling with something that I might be able to help him with, right?
Oh, yeah? You going to help him?
I mean,
Help him out to the
that-
park.
that's why I said look,
Help him
Look,
down to the curb.
bro. Like I'm telling you, since recovery, I haven't had any altercations or anything like that because I haven't needed to. There has been in recovery has been times where I could have fought somebody,
Yeah.
where there has been like some physical. Like I remember working with at MPSG, just definitely a whole bunch of hood rats that work with us,
Yeah.
you know. And there's been plenty of times where I had to check them,
Yeah.
you know.
Like, don't make me hit you with this Amazon package.
Like no, like there's been a couple times where like I really, you know, I was like on the verge, but then I like
Dialed it back.
no, I died like immediately. I was like, oh, I was wrong. This is how I was wrong because of so much inventory that I continuously
Okay. Yeah.
do. Like that's become first nature for me, right?
So you would divorce her. You would just admit you've made a horrible error in life and that you're married to the wrong woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, I dated her for 4 years for a reason. I'm gonna make sure it's the right one.
okay.
Like,
Okay. And you're not worried about it?
What if if she says, oh, you ain't like that's true. She might be a hood rat, and you
yeah, do you stay with somebody like that?
Yeah, you gotta think of the woman.
I think he's dated a couple hood rats.
yeah, and I know they're,
what
they're
I'm
not
saying-
they're not around.
What I'm saying, this scenario that you presented.
Okay.
Why do you stay with a woman who you're doing the wise, intelligent thing to do,
Yeah.
and she's gonna demean you for it and shame you for it? You're out.
I mean,
I don't need you around.
That's on the
This-
woman now, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing the right thing, and if she's trying to get you to do the wrong thing, now you got to think about like, am I making the right decision with this person
well,
that I'm?
She's
Yeah,
immature.
why are you keeping her around anymore?
I got
Yeah,
you.
she's out.
I got you. If the situation was reversed and you lost your head and attacked the person and got fined or imprisoned, should she leave you for doing the wrong thing?
Maybe probably.
I mean,
Okay.
if
I'd
you're
say-
married, I don't think so.
I wouldn't blame her.
I mean,
If you're married, no, but
yeah, I guess,
And
I
a
guess
hush falls over
if
the
you're in
crowd.
if you're in a dating situation, sure. But yeah, if you're married, I mean, it depends on. I guess I would say it depends on how long you're in. You know,
Yeah.
like, if she's going to be completely, left out in the cold for 10 years
trying to tell my
or life.
my car overheated.
Oh, that was so great. We got a guy get his car code. That was awesome. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Just a
No, I'm
thought.
just saying, like, if it's if I'm going to prison for life, yeah, divorce me,
Yeah.
or even 10 years. Like,
How long would you have to go to prison when you'd expect your wife to leave you? Like-
honestly, like if she can't support herself and the kids, I'd be like, do it now.
Find another paycheck?
No, like
support system.
get rid of me and find somebody else with money.
How many years? How many years would you want? Like, would you want her to wait?
I'd like her to wait as long as possible, but at the same time, again, if she
How many
can't,
years do
if
you
she can't take
realistically
her,
expect her to?
Yeah,
I don't know.
How many years
maybe
would you expect your girl to wait
two,
for you?
maybe 2.
I'll say if we're married, like at least 10 years minimum.
Yeah, like a decade.
This situation actually happened within our family.
Whoa.
Yeah, like an aunt of ours, like her husband ended up. He was a police officer. He ended up going to jail, and he essentially got like almost a life sentence or something, or pretty long. And I think our aunt tried to stay with him for a few years. They tried to fight it and everything, and then they realized that like
It's not going to happen. He's going to serve
he's
time.
going to be in there for a long time and stuff. So I think they eventually got divorced, and she ended up like finding somebody like years later and everything. But I think
I'm more like a wounded dog. Like if I went in, if it was going to be longer than say a couple weeks or a couple months, I'd just be like, let me, like an old dog goes off to die. Just leave me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I don't know that many people.
If it's a couple weeks, though,
I don't know that. I mean,
couple weeks.
If you're a person,
You're out.
Okay, months.
No, if you're a person that's gonna fly off the handle like that, though, I think that speaks to a larger
Problem.
like,
Maybe
So I don't
Yeah.
think that this was probably the first.
Well, what if you did something?
indication.
But hold on. What if you did something that was like what if I? Okay, so let's pretend that I'm married and I embezzled from the church, and I went to jail for 5 years.
Okay.
5 years. Should I have an expectation that my spouse is going to stick that out?
guess it
Not an
depends on-
expectation. I think you should treat it as a blessing if she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
To me,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
agree.
I'd be like, wounded dog
I
thing. Yeah.
I wouldn't.
You'd want her to stick it out for 5 years?
5 years. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if it's a marriage and you're in there for the long run, I mean, time is like
Yeah.
a few years. Like it's different when you're talking about like a lifetime.
Yeah, like
20, 25.
you're not getting out.
You're going to be there for, you're what, in your 30s or 40s, and then you're going to be there until you're like in your 60s. I mean, that's like,
That's a different deal.
that's a different deal. But if it's like 4 or 5 years, that's, I mean, that's like college. It's like,
Man,
that's
I
a
wouldn't.
quick,
I wouldn't trust.
Going off to war. Just
I wouldn't trust that. Like within generously a year, there wouldn't be like a level of temptation or this to be like, well, he's locked up and I got this and that. I wouldn't
Well, I
expect
mean-
anyone to stick around.
I mean, some women
Oh,
have
so
stuck around.
you
even
just
if
think she
it's-
wouldn't be faithful inside of over a year?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so.
Hey.
I mean, you can fool yourself into thinking, oh, I'm in jail and she's being okay. You don't. No.
Sorry to interrupt.
Basically, like a long
I gotta
distance
go.
relationship.
We love you. Well,
Yeah.
that's as far as we can go for tonight. I don't know if we solved anything.
Hey,
Hope I don't go to jail anytime soon. All right. Love you, mean it. Peace.
see ya.